had a great weekend and are easing back into the reality of what real life is. I know we were all a little sluggish around our house today after a long weekend, but it's always nice to get back on schedule and get back on track with what our goals are. And so I hope you are being able to ease back into that today. My name is Diane Parham, and today we are going to be discussing yo-yo dieting and trying to determine if that might be something that's keeping you from getting you to your health and fitness goals. I know that I was a yo-yo dieter for a very long time, and I had to make some pretty, concrete changes, I guess I would call them, in order to kind of get out of that cycle and live a life that is just more comfortable and a lot less emotionally taxing. So I help women find fitness programs and nutritional plans that help them feel and look their best so that they can live their most authentic life. And a lot of what I do is because of what I was, and that it goes back to that yo-yo dieting thing. I am the kind of person who can gain and lose weight very easily, and a lot of times my weight loss or weight gain was really determined by my lifestyle and associations. So a lot of times where we are with our own personal goals and what we're doing to achieve them, or maybe even sometimes not reach them, is a big part of who we're hanging out with and kind of what lifestyle things we have going on for ourselves, and not realizing that maybe making some changes might help us get out of that cycle. So I kind of want to define what yo-yo dieting really is and kind of describe how it's kind of transitioned over time, and then give you some tips on how you can kind of break this cycle for yourself. So yo-yo dieting is typically like a cyclical loss and gain of weight. So you end up kind of putting your body through a turmoil, basically, of putting on weight and then losing it and then putting it on and losing it. And when you're yo-yo dieting, it's usually something that happens pretty drastically. So when you're a yo-yo dieter, you usually lose weight really drastically because you're doing something to make that happen. And then what happens is, if it doesn't go as planned or it doesn't go perfectly or something in life kind of throws you off your diet per se, then what happens is you usually go off the deep end the other way. And so a lot of times yo-yo dieters end up losing, X amount of weight, and then when they fall off, they end up gaining whatever they lost plus back. And so what that ends up doing is putting a lot of emotional stress on us, and it creates a really unhealthy relationship for us with food. And that's usually where people get into the most trouble, because everything that you're doing is in a drastic sort of panic state. And really all a diet is for anyone is just a psychological and emotional change that we have with food. So we have to kind of psych ourselves up to go on a diet, because for most people, a diet is something that's very restrictive. And a lot of people go into a diet like very quickly. So they go from, whatever lifestyle they had into like complete like diet deprivation. And that can be very taxing on us emotionally and physically as well. And like I said, if anything in life doesn't go perfectly, we end up falling off the diet train, and we end up going downhill even farther than we were when we started. So for a lot of people, this can become sort of like an addiction type of thing, where we get into that emotional connection with food and weight loss and weight gain, and then we end up being depressed, and then we go drastic into a diet, and that's where the cycle really goes. So you have to be really careful about what it is that you're doing when you decide to start a health and fitness journey, and that you make sure that what you're doing is something that can be a long-term commitment for you, and is not going to be anything that's going to take you out of what your lifestyle norm is. So how do you avoid becoming a yo-yo dieter, or how do you avoid continuing that cycle of being a yo-yo dieter? And like I said in the very beginning, I can say that I was a yo-yo dieter at one point in my life. I could go from one extreme to the other, and I was always following that next quick fix to try to get my weight down as fast as I could. And then as soon as I got down to where I wanted to be, I would end up, ballooning back up to where I was before, and then adding on a little bit more weight. And a lot of that, like I said, was due to my associations at the time, as well as not learning what my relationship is with food and how I can kind of control that situation. And so what you want to do to kind of end this cycle of yo-yo dieting is you want to figure out a way to lose weight gradually. So you don't want to do anything that's going to be so depleted with what you have going on in your life and your lifestyle that it's something that you can't sustain for a long period of time. And the only way to sustain a lifestyle change for a long period of time is to do it gradually. So make sure that when you're setting up your goals for any sort of weight loss, that you do it in a way that you're gonna lose that weight in a very healthy and gradual way. You want to make sure that you're creating a lifestyle that you can maintain. So I guarantee you the cabbage diet is nothing that you can maintain for a lifestyle, nor is the banana diet or whatever crazy thing out there that you're gonna kind of sink into to lose that weight really quickly. That's not something that you can maintain for your lifetime. So you want to make sure that anything that you're doing to kind of get yourself into that better place or to help you reach your goals is something that you're going to be able to do beyond reaching that goal. So if you have a 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 pound weight loss that you're trying to achieve, you want to make sure that whatever you're doing on day one is something that you can sustain at 40 pounds lost plus months. So you don't want to have to get to that goal point that you've reached and then change your lifestyle again. So create a plan for yourself that you can carry on for the remainder of your life. You want to make sure that when you're in that mode of making a change and it's something that you want to sustain for your lifetime, you want to try to just shut out or disregard any kind of social stigma that has to do with weight and changing your nutrition plan. I don't want to say the word diet. Social pressures are huge, especially for women. And the healthy lifestyle can be criticized and outcasted just as much as the unhealthy lifestyle. So we often talk about, the plus size model or, and how demeaning that is for that person because they're the larger or the normal size of the average American woman, I guess I should say. But what we have to remember too is that a healthy lifestyle is often just as criticized. So you want to make sure that when you're trying to make these changes and you want to make healthier food choices or you want to make more active lifestyle choices, that you're surrounding yourself with people that will support you and motivate you through that change. If you're finding that your friends are putting so much social pressure on you that you can't maintain what it is that you know is best for you, then you might want to look for some new friends. And the best place to do that would be in any kind of health and fitness type of environment, and get yourself connected with a group of people that will help you stay accountable, as opposed to kind of always pulling you off the track that you want to be on to reach your goals. And I know emotionally that can be a really hard thing to do, to kind of walk away from some of your friends when you're trying to make these changes. But you have to kind of do that little gut check with who it is that you're hanging out with. And if they're really not supporting what you know is best for you, then you might want to reevaluate what friendship criteria you have set for yourself. And see if you can maybe seek out some people that might be a little bit more supportive of you, or if it is your friends that aren't supportive, maybe sit them down and explain how important these changes are for you and see if they can jump on board and help you out. You want to stay positive and know that this is a journey. So nothing is perfect ever when you're trying to make these kind of changes in your life. Something's going to happen. You might be working out and sprain an ankle or pull a hamstring, or something might happen socially where you do kind of slip a little bit on your nutrition plan. You have to know that that's okay. And instead of going into that self-sabotage or, into that negative mindset that you completely blew everything, try to do your best to keep a positive mindset to it and keep that positive self-talk going. Remember, we're trying to do this for the duration of our life. So it will not be perfect. And you have to know that going in and figure out a way that you can adjust when that happens. The best advice I can give anyone who's trying to break this cycle of yo-yo dieting and try to get on a lifestyle that is sustainable is find a support group, find an accountability group. The the beautiful thing about social media today, and I know you are all sitting here watching me from all different states, is that you don't have to necessarily be the next door neighbor of someone who's going to hold you accountable or live across the street from someone who's going to hold you accountable. Find a support group or an accountability group online that will hold you just as accountable as that person that's going to be right next door to you in your neighborhood. Oftentimes, these support groups online can be even more supportive because you don't have to deal with those social interactions on a day-to-day basis. You can kind of be a little bit anonymous with still getting that support that you need. So reach out for support. Don't be afraid to ask for support. Reach out for someone that you think that you can identify with personality-wise as well as goal-wise. So, you want to make sure that you can find someone that will hold you accountable, that will understand the struggles that you might be having as well. And then always start with a win. So find a way to get a quick win, whether that's, having a really great experience at the grocery store where you found some great new healthy foods that you can incorporate, or, creating a meal at home for your family that's a little different than you usually make, and giving them an opportunity to experiment with it and see if they like it. Do a healthy, couple of days where you can sort of detox your body. I always suggest doing any sort of detox that you're going to do with actual food. Pure juice cleanses and stuff like that are not realistic, and they aren't going to get you to that end goal and a lifestyle change. So if you're looking to do kind of a quick detox to like break sugar habits or carbohydrate habits, or even maybe kind of kick a little bit of a caffeine habit, make sure that you're doing it with a program that actually incorporates real clean food, so that you can go from that couple of days of detoxing or refreshing your body into what you're going to do on a day-to-day basis. And then you want to make sure that you are going for a feeling and not a number. So the women that I coach, my first priority with them is always, how are you feeling over what are you weighing? And I guarantee you, if you are feeling better, just even 1 or 2 days into making these very subtle changes in your life, then that will give you the motivation and the encouragement to keep going with your goal. If you only focus on a number on a scale, I guarantee you will never get out of that yo-yo dieting cycle, because for women, the scale will never give you a true evaluation of what you are and what you have to offer. It will just give you a number. And I can tell you from my own personal experience with the scale, I could get on the scale tomorrow morning and be down 6 pounds and not know why. And I could get on the scale the very next day and be up 10 and not know why. But if I feel good about what I'm doing, and I feel energetic, and my body as a whole is feeling great, then I could honestly care less what the scale says. So try to get to the point with your own body where you can really kind of zone in on what it is that makes you feel your best and can make you feel encouraged about the changes that you're making. If you feel those things, I guarantee you, no matter what it is you're doing, you will stick to it. If it's too hard to do, or you're not getting those good feelings because you're depriving yourself too much from the things that you like in your life, or the things that do make you feel good, then your plan of attack will be very short-lived. So go for the feeling first, and then go for that weight loss second. If you feel good and you're more active and you're making healthier choices because you have a positive mindset, I guarantee you the weight will eventually change. And even if it doesn't, who cares? If you're feeling better and you're happier and you're more energetic and you're being more authentic in your life, then we don't really ever care about weight on a scale, as long as you're living a healthy lifestyle. So I hope this helps you guys. If you have been in that cycle of yo-yo dieting, trust me, I totally understand. I was there for many years. I think probably the last 4 or 5 years, I can say that I'm honestly no longer living in that space, and it's because of the changes that I had just explained to you here. If you're looking for someone to help you break the cycle, or you're looking for someone to help you set some lifestyle changes that you can incorporate into your life for the duration, definitely feel free to reach out to me. I will see if we are a good fit for one another, and see if I can get you in a program that might help you reach your goals and end this cycle of yo-yo dieting. As always, I appreciate you guys for joining me here. If you have any questions, I'm always available offline as well. You can send me a message, or if you have a comment that you would like to leave as you watch the recorded broadcast of this, I will always try to reach out to you as well later. I do have a 3-day refresh group starting next week. I will be in it as well. I do one every month just to sort of keep my body in check and online with my goals. If you'd like some more information about that and would like to jump into that group next week with me, definitely feel free to reach out to me and I will get you connected with everything that you need to get started. Have a super night tonight, you guys, and I will see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time right here.